So, guys, yesterday we started with salaries, right? No, so in salaries, we did the introduction, section 15, charging section. Charging section says that salary will be taxable under this head. On what basis? Your receipt, whichever is earlier, Okay. And what is the meaning of salary that we saw yesterday? Any sum, whether by whatever name called, whether in cash or in kind. If you receive that, it will be salary. Yes or no? By whatever name called, whether in cash or in kind, that is salary. But salary is also defined in section 17(1). 17, so few things are also treated as salary. 17(1) says the term salary includes what? Wages, annuity or pension, then gratuity. After that, any fee, commission, perquisites, profit in lieu of salary. And fifth one, advance salary. Sixth one, leave salary. 7, 8, 9, 10. 4 points we have left. Yes or no? We'll do it later on. Okay. Now see, the term salary, it is taxable on your receipt, whichever is earlier basis, but only if that salary is received from employer and you are the employee. So there has to be employer-employee relationship. So if employer-employee relationship is there, only then the salary will be taxable. Now, to determine whether there is employer-employee relationship or not, we'll have to see the contract between the payer and the payee. If the contract between the payer and the payee is contract of service, then only we can say that there exists a relationship of employer and employee. But if there is a contract for service, then there is no relationship of employer and employee, and accordingly the income received from the payer cannot be taxed under the head salary. It will either be taxable as PGBP or IFRS, that we have already discussed yesterday. Okay, now we were discussing that there are sometimes the salary which you are receiving will be exempt. Salary which you are receiving will be exempt. But before that, we had a discussion that sometimes even the salary, if it is received outside India, then also it can be taxable under this head. When it will be taxable? If it is received outside India by ROR, then it will be taxable. If it is received outside India by an Indian citizen from the government, then it will be deemed to accrue or arise in India as per section 9, and then also it will be taxable. Yes or no? Now, there are certain salaries or remuneration which you receive from your employer, then that will be exempt. Exempt under section 10(7), exempt under section 10(6). 10(6), there are 4 types of salary, if you remember. Number 1, salary received by foreign diplomats and their staff members, whom they are bringing from outside. Yes or no? Staff members are coming from foreign country. Okay. So their salary plus the salary of foreign diplomats will be exempt. Second one, and that is exempt subject to certain conditions. Okay. Second one, salary received as an employee of foreign enterprise subject to certain conditions will also be exempt. Third one, salary received by a crew member, by a foreign national who is a non-resident. Yes or no? By a foreign national who is a non-resident as a crew member on a foreign ship while the ship was in India. Yes or no? At that time, the salary will be received. That salary will be fully exempt. Last one, the salary if you are receiving while you are on training to a place, to any government office, etc. in India, and you are employee of foreign government. Okay, in that case also your salary is exempt. This entire thing we have done yesterday. Now see, now if we discuss about this exemptions, okay, we had discussed about 2 exemption. 10(6), there are 4 remuneration, 4 types of remunerations and salaries which are exempt under section 10(6), and there is 10(7) also. 10(7) also. 10(7) says that your foreign allowances and foreign perquisites, which is exempt. So this exemption which you get under section 10.6 and 10.7 is available irrespective of the regime which you are following. Meaning that even if you are following 115 BSE, default tax regime, then also you are going to get this exemption, yes or no? And even if you are following, you are not following the default tax regime, meaning you have shifted out, then also you are going to get this exemption. So exemption under section 10.6 and 10.7 will be available, will be whether you follow 115 BSE or you don't follow 115 BSE, yes or no? Next one, there is a concept of diversion of income and application of income. Now see what happens, diversion. If I receive some income and at the time when I receive that income, since that time only I know that this income is not mine. This income is not mine. Somebody else is having an authority to get that income. Okay. So that income is coming to me. But since the beginning only, that income does not belong to me. Somebody has right over that income. I am just the recipient of that income, but somebody else is having a right to get that income. So the person who is having a right to get that income, if I give that income to that person, that means it is a diversion. That means it is a diversion. What I mean to say here, see, if I receive 10 lakh rupees as income, if I receive 10 lakh rupees as income, I know out of this 10 lakh, 2 lakh rupees belongs to someone else. 2 lakh rupees belongs to someone. Someone else is having a right to receive this 2 lakhs. So the person who is having a right to receive this 2 lakh, I am giving this 2 lakh rupees to that person. This is known as diversion of income. Now if I'll give you an example, in that example, if say, for example, what is your name? Bhumika. Myself and Bhumika, we both have written a book. We are co-authors of a book. Yes or no? So Bhumika and Umang sir, they have written a book and we got the book published from a publisher. So the publisher will give royalty. Yes or no? He will use the content of the author. He will publish that content. He will sell that book. Yes or no? And by selling the book, he will earn income. From that income, he will give us some share, no? In the form of royalty. So, the royalty, the publisher told me that the royalty will be given on the name of any one author. Either on the name of Bhumika or, sir, it will be given on your name. Understanding what is happening? Now, it was already decided between me and Bhumika that see, whatever royalty will come, no Bhumika, that will share equally. That will share equally. Yes or no? So what happens here? Tell me. The royalty, whatever royalty will come, half belongs to Bhumika has a right to get that royalty. Yes or no? Hello. Who has the title over that income? Bhumika, on half of the income. And half income belongs to me. Yes or no? It was already decided between me and Bhumika. Now that publisher is giving 10 lakh rupees of royalty. How much? And that 10 lakh entire amount he credited in my account. He credited in my account. So entire royalty came to me. So how much income is coming? How much income is coming? Out of this 10 lakh, can I say there is already 5 lakh rupees which already belongs to Bhumika has a overriding title over this 5 lakh rupees of income. I cannot legally keep that income because it was already decided between both the authors that out of whatever royalty is there, half royalty belongs to the other author. Yes or no? If Bhumika would have received the 10 lakh, out of 10 lakh, half would have belonged to me. Yes or no? Now see, the 10 lakh is received by me. Out of that, half amount belongs to Bhumika. She has overriding title over that income. Now if I give that income 5 lakh rupees to Bhumika, that is known as diversion of income. That is known as, now in the case of diversion, the income which is diverted, is not my income. Is not my, so how much is my income? Only 5 lakhs. So even though I have received how much? 10 lakhs. I'm not going to show 10 lakh as my income. I'm going to show only 5 lakh. Because out of 10 lakh, 5 lakh does not belong to me. It belongs to the person. I've given it to that same person. Getting my point? Hello. Now one more example on diversion. Say for example, my grandfather, he gave a huge building under a will on my name. That building was given to me under a will. So at the time of making that will, my grandfather said that this building will belong to Umang. Umang will be the owner of this building. Whatever income will come will belong to Umang. And out of this income, which Umang will get from this building, 25% he will have to give to his sister. 25% of that income he will have to give to his. Based on this condition, the building was given to me under a will. So under a will, I received one building from my grandfather. Now that building has an income of 20 lakhs. How much? 20 lakh rupees rent. That building was given on rent to someone, and how much rent is received? 20 lakhs. Now out of that entire 20 lakh, no, 25% I will have to give to my sister as per the conditions of the will. Yes or no? My sister is legally entitled to get that 25% income from me. So the moment I'll get 20 lakhs, out of this 20 lakh, on 25% income, I don't have any right. Who has the right? She has overriding title over that income. Yes or no? Nobody else can get that income except her. But if I have got that income, now what I will have to do? Out of my 20 lakhs, 25% which belongs to my sister, I will pass on to her. What is this? Diversion of income. So 5 lakh rupees I will transfer, and how much remains? 15 lakhs. Only that much is my income. Okay, even though I have received 20 lakh as income, but I am going to show only 15 lakhs as my income. Yes or no? So diversion happens and the treatment is given like this. But sometimes there is an application of income. There is an application. See, diversion of income is not my income. The income which is diverted is not my income. I don't have to show that income taxable to the government as my income. Yes or no? So income which is diverted is not my income. I don't have to show that income taxable to the government. But application of income, what did I say? Application of income is my income. Is my income. I will have to show that part also of my income which I have applied somewhere. So what is the meaning of application? Do you remember that 10 lakh rupees example? 10 lakh rupees royalty I got. Half belongs to Bhumika, half is given to Bhumika. Now how much is remaining with me? 5 lakhs. Out of that 5 lakhs, no? Out of that 5 lakhs, which is my income, okay, I have spent 4 lakh rupees. I have spent how much? I have bought some gold. I have made some investments. I have done some expenditure of my household. I have paid rent. I have paid this. So out of that 5 lakh, I'm meeting some expenses. I'm doing some investments. So the investments which I am doing out of my 5 lakh rupees and the expenditures which I'm meeting out of my 5 lakh rupees, that investment and expenditure is nothing but application of my income. What is that? Income is earned, income is applied. Income is earned, income is applied. So how much income is earned? By me, 5 lakh rupees is earned. Yes or no? First of all, I received 10 lakhs. 5 lakh is diversion. Diversion of income is not my income. I don't have to show that income as my taxable income. So how much remaining? So how much I have earned? 5 lakhs. So out of that 5 lakh, if I have spent 4 lakh, expenditure, investments, etc., amounting to 4 lakh. How much remaining in my hands? Now, can I tell the department that my income is only 1 lakh? I will have to tell them how much is my income. So how much is my income? Is it remaining 1 lakh or the 5 lakh which I have earned? So in that 5 lakh, if I am showing that 5 lakh as my income, Am I showing the part which I have applied? The part which I have applied, that also I have to show as my income. And the amount which is remaining in my hands after application, that also I have to show as my income. I have to show my full income to them. Getting my point? Out of that full income, if some income is applied, and for that application, if I'm going to get any deductions under the Income Tax Act, that I'll get later on. But I cannot say that the part of my income which is applied somewhere is not my income. That also I will have to show as my income. Getting my point? It was my income, only then it was applied to somewhere, no? Only then it was invested, only then it was spent as my expenditure. So amount of expenditure is my income. Amount of investment is my income. That is, application of my income is my income. Yes or no? Later on, for that application, if I'm going to get any deduction under Income Tax Act, then I can take it. Otherwise, I will have to show the application of my income as my income only. Getting my point? So did you understand what is diversion of income? What is application of income? Diversion of income is my income or not my income? Ignore. Application of income, the income which is applied is my income. Okay, no? See, by an obligation which exists prior to the receipt of income, the income is diverted to some. There was an obligation. Even before the income is received, there was an obligation on me to give the income to Bhumika. Yes or no? So, some other person, after it's received, income diverted is not taxable in the hands of the assessee, the person who has received it. Getting my point? Next one, expenditure or investment out of the income after it is received, that expenditure or investment is nothing but application. Income applied is taxable in the hands of the assessee. But later on, whatever income is applied, if later on Income Tax Act has some provisions to give the deduction for that application of income, so as per those provisions, I can take the deduction for that application also. Yes or no? Next one. This is an example. X and Y are Umang sir and Bhumika are joint authors of a book. They entered into an agreement whereby they decided to equally distribute the royalty income of book co-authored by them. Publisher gives the check of rupees 10 lakh on the name of Umang sir, being the first author of the book. Half kept by Umang sir, half given to Bhumika. Do you remember? Half which is kept by Umang sir will be taxable to Umang sir, even if he received rupees 10 lakh from the publisher. Out of the above, 5 lakh which is remaining with me after diverting income to Bhumika, whatever 5 lakh remains with me out of the above 5 lakh, if Umang sir has spent or invested how much? 2 lakh, then it would be treated as application of income. Yes or no? And next one, the half amount which is given to Bhumika will be taxable for Bhumika and not taxable in the hands of Umang sir. Do you remember that? Hello. Since it would be treated as diversion of income. Done, sir? Done? Okay. Now see, why I have explained that concept you will come to know in the later on parts of this chapter. And that time I will test you regarding diversion and application. Understood, no? Okay. Now see, the first test of that concept in this discussion, whatever discussion I have made about diversion and application. Okay. So if you remember that, you will be able to understand these concept, this discussion. Okay. Now see, if there is some salary which I am receiving, which I was supposed to receive, and if I forego that salary, I give up that salary. I say that I don't want to get this salary. I'm foregoing salary. Can I forego my salary? Yes. Why not? I can forego my salary. For example, this month I'm supposed to receive a salary of rupees 1 lakh. Okay. Salary of rupees 1 lakh. So we all are the employees in a company. We all have decided Let's see, this time there was floods in Himachal Pradesh. So we are going to help our brothers and sisters of Himachal Pradesh for some relief. So even even if I'm having some income with me, okay, I cannot directly go there and give to a single person. So what we all decided, that whatever income we are going to earn in this month, no, out of that income, half income we will donate. Half income we will donate. Okay. So if Bhumika is receiving, Bhumika is earning a salary of rupees 1 lakh, she will forego half. She will donate half. Okay. What is your name, madam? Vaishnavi. Vaishnavi is earning 1 lakh rupees of income. Vaishnavi will also donate half. If I am receiving 1 lakh, 1 lakh is salary, I will also donate half of my salary. All of us, all the employees in the company, we all have decided that we will donate half amount of salary for the flood relief, for the relief of the people who have been affected by flood in Himachal Pradesh. So there is some organization, there is some NGO who is doing some relief work. We are going to donate that money to that NGO, that charitable organization. Getting my point? So this month, whatever salary the employer is going to give, we all will go to our employer and tell the employer that, employer, we want to waive off, we want to forego half of our salary, and kindly donate that salary to that charitable trust, to that NGO who is doing that relief work in Himachal Pradesh. Getting my point? So what we all have done? Some salary she has donated, some salary she has donated, some salary he has donated, some salary Gokul has donated, some salary I have donated. So half amount, somebody is donating 20%, somebody is donating 50%, somebody donating full amount of salary. Yes or no? Depends. So we all have decided that some part we have to donate. So that we are going to tell our employer, that, employer, whatever salary is there for this month, whatever salary is there for, out of that, let's say half salary I want to forego. Half salary I want to forego and kindly donate that salary to that charitable trust, to that NGO who is doing that relief work. So what the employer will do now? Out of the salary which I was supposed to receive, how much? Out of the salary, how much? 1 lakh, which I was supposed to receive. 50%. How much? Meaning 50,000 which I have donated, which I am foregoing. He will keep that salary with himself and he will donate that salary to NGO. Hello? And the remaining 50,000 was actually given to me. Possible or not possible? Now I have foregone my half salary. After foregoing half of my salary, I am receiving only half. How much will be my taxable salary? Full 1 lakh. There is no diversion happening here. On that 50,000 of salary which I have foregone, which I have waived off to be donated for any NGO, for any trust. Getting my point? That 50,000 was my income. That 50,000 was my income. And I decided to apply that income as donation. Getting my point? So that is not diversion, that is application. That is, and application of income is also income. Application of income is also, so how much of my salary was applied as a donation? Is it my income? My income will only be donated, no. So first I was legally entitled to get 1 lakh. So that 1 lakh is my salary. Out of that 1 lakh, if 50,000 is donated, waived off or foregone to be donated, yes or no? That 50,000 which is waived off or foregone, hello, was my income only which I am foregoing. Was my income only which I am foregoing. Foregoing means, waiving off means application of income. Getting my point? I cannot forego something which does not belong to me, no? I can forego only that thing which belongs to me. So that 50,000 which belong to me, I am foregoing that. So 50,000 which belong to me, I forgone. And 50,000 which belong to me, I received. So how much belongs to me? 1 lakh. So how much should be my income? 1 lakh. So I will show how much amount as taxable salary? 1 lakh. And out of that 1 lakh, if 50,000 is foregone, waived off to be donated, and for that donation, if I'm going to get any deduction, I can take that deduction later on. Hello, sir. But I cannot say that the income which I am receiving, only that amount is my income. No. The income which I am receiving, that is my income, plus the income which I have foregone as a donation, that is application of my income, that is also my income. So how much is my taxable income? Entire 1 lakh. Yes or no? So this 50,000 donation foregone or waived off, application of income, therefore income of the employee. So this is also the income of the employee, this is also the income of the employee. How much will be the taxable salary? 1 lakh. So first I will have to show the entire 1 lakh as taxable salary, and then out of that 1 lakh 50,000 was donated, no? So there is one section 80G. There is one section. So out of my GTI, I can take the deduction of this donation under 80G, provided the conditions of 80G are satisfied. Getting it or not? Everyone understood? So this was salary foregone. So what is the bottom line? Any salary foregone, any salary waived off by the employee is his salary only. Has to be taxable because that is application of income. Yes or no? Next one, if the salary is surrendered. See, if there is an employee who is supposed to receive 1 lakh rupees of salary, out of his 1 lakh rupees of salary, 20,000 he has surrendered to the central government. So if you surrender some part of your salary to the central government and you are surrendering at as per section 2 of voluntary surrender of salary exemption from tax act 1961. So as per section 2 of this law, what is the name of this law? Voluntary surrender of salary, in the bracket, exemption from tax act 1960. As per the section number 2 of this law, if I have surrendered some salary, so that section, that law only gives me the exemption from taxability of that component of my salary which I have surrendered to the central government. So now under the Income Tax Act, what did I say? Under the Income Tax Act, that 20,000 salary which I have surrendered will not be taxable. There is a law. Because of that law, this much amount will not be treated as my income under the Income Tax Act. So under the Income Tax Act, whatever salary I am getting after surrendering some salary to the government, only to that extent the income will be taxable. Because this surrender of salary is nothing but diversion. The moment I surrender some part of my salary, to the government, now the government is entitled to get that salary. Because of this law, there is an obligation, there is a title over this income. By whom? By the government. So why would somebody surrender his salary? Why would somebody surrender his salary? And that to also government. I'm the only person, single, not married, no children, no wife, no family. But I am working at a very good position in some company. Managing director, CEO, possible or not? There are many people like this. You might have heard about Mr. Ratan Tata. He was a single person. Yes or no? Did not have any family, did not have wife, kids and all. There are many employees, there are many employees who could be like that. I am one of those one of those employees. So what happens? I don't require this much amount of salary. See, if I'm a CEO of a company, if I'm the managing director of a company, I'm working at a higher position. So according to my position, my salary will also be huge. But a single person would not require this much amount of salary. Okay. If I'm earning 50 lakh rupees in a year, 10 lakh rupees is enough for my survival. At the most 20 lakh rupees. The balance 30 lakhs. Even if I save it, even if I invest it somewhere, hello, that will be of no use to anyone. Because if I die, what this savings will matter now? If I buy some properties, if I invest this amount somewhere, so will it be useful to any of my family members? Because I don't have any family. So what will happen now? I know that I don't require this much of salary, but according to my status, the company is going to give me 50 lakhs. According to my designation, the company is going to give me 50 lakhs. That 50 lakhs, what I did, there is a law in India which allows me to surrender some part of my salary to the government. I thought that let this amount of my salary belong to the government only. So I surrendered my salary as per law to the government. That out of whatever salary I am receiving in the year, 30 lakh rupees salary I am surrendering. So to give me the exemption from tax on that 30 lakhs, there is a separate law. Getting my point? And that law is known as surrendered of salary exemption from tax act. This act is specifically made to provide the exemption for those incomes which I am surrendering to the government. I will surrender that salary thinking that this part of my salary will go to the government and government will use in the public interest. I don't want to donate it somewhere. I don't want to give it to this charitable trust or that charitable trust. Okay. Under my will, I don't want to accumulate wealth, and under my will, I don't want to give to any of my relatives. Okay. I want this money to be used for public interest. And who can use it in public interest? Government. If I give this amount to the government. So whenever I get that income, out of that income, some part of income I have already surrendered to the central government. If I surrender some salary to the central government, this is nothing but diversion. This is nothing but diversion. And whatever salary which I have surrendered, no, as per, there is a specific law. There is a specific law. According to section 2 of that law, I will get the exemption of that salary which I have surrendered under the Income Tax Act. So since as per this law only, the surrendered salary is exempt under the Income Tax Act, this law has overriding effect over the Income Tax Act. So this law will prevail over the Income Tax Act. If this law is saying that this salary will be exempt, then Income Tax Act will also have to give you the exemption. Getting my point? So tell me, this 20,000 is what? Exempt income. As per that law, and the Income Tax Act will have to give effect to that law. Getting my point? Because that law has an overriding effect over Income Tax Act. So now tell me, under the Income Tax Act, we are studying Income Tax Act. So under the Income Tax Act, if some employee is there, employee is earning a salary of 1 lakh. Example, 1 lakh. Out of his 1 lakh rupees of salary, if he has surrendered 20,000 of salary to the government, then the 20,000 which he has surrendered to the government, as per a specific law, the 20,000 will be exempt as per that law in the Income Tax Act. Getting my point? So section 2 of Income Tax Act. No, section 2 of surrender of salary exemption from Tax Act 1961. As per the provisions of this law, the salary which I have surrendered to the central government, that salary will be exempt, will not be taxable under the Income Tax Act. It is as good as my diversion. It is as good as my diversion. So how much remaining? How much remaining after surrender? Only the salary which remains after surrender, no? That will be treated as my taxable income under the Income Tax Act. Getting my point? Hello, this is not asked, but since it is in the syllabus, you have to read it once. Okay, so salary foregone means foregone means application. It is my income. Okay, but if I surrender some salary to the central government, as per a specific law in India, section 2 of that law, that salary which I am surrendering to the central government will not be treated as my income under the Income Tax Act. I'll get the exemption. So whatever salary remains after surrender, only that much will be taxable under the Income Tax Act. Done, sir? Okay. Now see, there is a concept of salary after tax and salary tax free. Have you heard about after tax salary and tax free salary? No, first time. Omika, madam, what is your name? Harshita. I am giving 1 lakh rupees salary to Harshita. Harshita is my employee. I am the employer. Okay. So tell me, how much salary she is supposed to receive? Is this 1 lakh rupees income for Harshita? Yes or no? On this 1 lakh rupees, is she liable to pay income tax? To whom? To the government, central government, yes or no? Now, central government will take that tax right now only or later on? Later on. Okay. Let her earn the income. If she will earn the income during the previous year and in the assessment year, she will calculate the income tax. And that tax she will pay to the government. What do you think? In the assessment year, will she have enough money to pay the tax? Right? She might have already spent that 1 lakh rupees. If you are an employee earning some salary will go to pay rent, some salary will go to pay the education fees of the children, tuition fees of the children, hello, grocery expenses, electricity expenses. Buddy, how many expenses are there? So by the time the month ends, yes or no, the salary remaining in the account will be zero. This happens every month. This month's salary, by the month end, the entire salary is wiped off. Entire salary is spent. But out of that salary only the government wants tax. Getting my point? Out of that salary only the government wants tax. But to pay that tax, salary will not remain. Every month salary will come, salary will go. Salary will come, salary will go. And once the previous year is over, in the assessment year, total income will be calculated. In that total income, full year salary will be taken. Full year salary, the tax will be calculated. Now the government will come to Harshita and ask, Harshita, pay the tax. Harshita will say, income illa. Income illa. There is no income remaining with me to pay tax on that income. Understanding or not? Hello. So it is dangerous for the government to wait till assessment year to ask for tax on that income. So there are provisions of TDS provisions. Which provisions? TDS provisions. So according to the TDS provisions, government has given the responsibility to the employer. That employer, whatever salary you will give to your employee will be taxable income for the employee. On that income, the employee is going to pay tax to us, but we doubt that the employee will come and pay the tax on that salary because he will spend the entire salary. And on that salary income, if we want tax, the employee is not going to come and pay that tax. That is what we doubt. So do one thing. Who is giving the income? Employer. Who is receiving the income? Employee. So the person who is receiving the income is liable to pay tax. The person who is receiving the income is liable to pay tax. that person will not pay tax. The person who is giving the income will deduct the tax and give that tax to the government. So at the very beginning only, she is not going to get full salary. She is going to get the salary after tax deduction. So what the employer will do? If 1 lakh salary is supposed to be given, will he give the full amount of salary? He cannot. The government will kill this person. Why? Bloody, we have told you to give the income to the payee after deducting TDS, and why have you given the full amount? And for me, it will be my expense also. For me, it will be my expense also. Just remember, we will not allow you that expense as a deduction. When you will come to take the deduction of that salary, we will not give the deduction of that salary if you will not deduct the TDS. So for me, it is compulsory to deduct. Getting my point? If I don't deduct, what will happen? There will be actions taken against me. Number one, that expense will not be allowed as a deduction for me. Number two, I will be considered as assessee in default because I have defaulted in tax deduction. So if I will be considered as assessee in default, interest will be charged, penalty can also be charged from me. Getting my point? So to avoid all these things to happen, I will obey what the government is saying. So the government is telling the payer, means the employer, that whenever you go and pay the salary to your employee, don't give the full salary, because that employee is earning salary income, and later on from that salary income he is not going to pay tax to us. That is what we doubt. So do one thing, from his income at source only the tax should be deducted. And who is the source of the income? For the employee, who is the source of salary income? Employer is the source of salary income. No. So at source only the tax should be deducted and the net amount should be given. And that tax which is deducted at source by the employer should be given to the government. This is not my tax. This is not the tax on my income. This is the tax on the income of Harshita, which she was supposed to pay. But since she was not paying diligently, she was not paying, to the government, that is the reason why the government has resorted to the tax deduction. So will you pay the tax, Harshita? Maybe, maybe not. So do one thing. You don't pay. Your tax will be deducted at source. From your income only, some amount will be deducted by the employer as tax, and it will be given to the government. So the tax which is given to the government is out of the income of Harshita. Yes or no? Now how much income Harshita is going to get? For example, 1 lakh was her salary and the employer was supposed to deduct 10,000. Employer has deducted 10,000. How much income she is going to get? So she will take home how much? 90,000. But she was supposed to get 1 lakh. Out of that 1 lakh, 10,000 is deducted as his tax, as her tax, and that tax was given to the government. Now, when this is known as salary paid after TDS, salary paid after tax salary, meaning from that salary the TDS is deducted. From that salary, TDS is deducted. Now tell me, how much Harshita will have to show as her taxable salary income? Harshita will prepare a salary statement. In that salary statement, she will have to show her taxable salary. So how much she will say? That how much is her taxable salary? 90,000. Wrong. 10,000 was application of income. 10,000 was application of income. Bloody, that 10,000 which got deducted was her income only, which got deducted in the form of TDS and given to the government. The 10,000 which is deducted was her income, which got deducted and paid to the government in the form of TDS, in the form of tax. So the tax or the TDS which is paid to the government was the income of Harshita. Getting my point? Income is applied to pay the tax. She would have received and she would have paid. It would have been application only. But instead of she receiving, the employer is deducting that amount and giving to the government. That means her income is applied for tax payment. So that 10,000 which was deducted as TDS was her income only, which got deducted as TDS and went to the government. What is this? Application of income. What is this? Application of income. Is income or not an income? So 10,000 will be her income and the 90,000 which she has received is also her income. So how much is her income? Under the head salary, she will have to first show 1 lakh as her income. Yes or no? But sir, 10,000 tax is already paid. Don't worry, no. How much income she will show? 1 lakh as her salary income plus other incomes. She will calculate the tax. Tax on all incomes, including salary, will be calculated. And from that tax, she will get the credit of this TDS. If you remember the tax calculation. In the assessment year, when she will calculate total income, in the total income, she will take the full salary and other incomes also. And on that total income, including salary, the tax will be calculated. So tax is calculated on the entire 1 lakh rupees of salary. Tax is calculated on other incomes also, and the tax is calculated on the entire amount of salary. Tax is calculated on the full amount. Tax is calculated on the full amount. And out of that tax, the tax which is already deducted by the employer and paid to the government, will she pay that tax again? Minus from the tax liability, the TDS which was deducted by the employer. So what will be the tax effects? Come on, tell me. Gross salary was 1 lakh. TDS is 10,000. Net salary is, now see, this color, orange color. Color, this gross salary amount will always be taxable under the head salary. Salary, how much amount will be taxable? Full 1 lakh rupees. Out of that 1 lakh, if 10,000 is deducted, the 10,000 is also her income and the 90 is also her income. So how much is her income? Full 100% gross salary will be her income. So she will show how much taxable? 1 lakh. Now the tax which is deducted, which she is already showing as her income, the 10,000 which was deducted, that 10,000 also she is showing as her income. No, the 10,000 out of the income, the 10,000 which was deducted, the 10,000 is shown as her income only. And from your income, if some tax is already paid in the form of TDS, take the credit of that TDS later on. So whenever you will calculate your tax liability, whenever you will calculate your TDS which was deducted, will be allowed as a credit. From your tax liability, reduce this amount of TDS. Hello? And this net salary is your take home pay. So what will happen if the salary is given after tax? What are you supposed to do? What are you supposed to do for after tax salary? The employer will deduct tax and give you the salary. What tax treatment you are going to give? Whatever salary you have received, that will be net. That will be after TDS. That will be after TDS. Getting my point? That will be after tax. That will be treated as your income. And the TDS which was deducted is also treated as your income. Meaning, in this case, full amount will be treated as your income. Meaning how much? 1 lakh. So in the case of after tax salary, always charge gross amount. Always charge gross amount as your salary. And the in that gross amount, the TDS component you have also shown as your income. Later on, take that amount as a credit from your tax liability. Okay. So in the examination, the salary question will be there. During the previous year, the employer is giving you this amount, this amount, this amount, calculate the taxable salary. But the very first amount will be employee is going to get how much? 1 lakh. But the employer has deducted 10,000 salary. So that 1 lakh rupees is after tax. That 1 lakh rupees is after tax net amount. Sorry, my mistake. That 1 lakh rupees salary which he is getting, okay, the employee is getting 1 lakh. Out of that 1 lakh, the employer is deducting 10,000 as what? TDS, and the employee is getting 90,000. This information will be given in the question. Information will be given like this, or they will say 90,000 and in the bracket it will be written after tax salary, or in the bracket it will be written net of TDS. In the question, they might give you directly 1 lakh. Out of this 1 lakh, TDS has to be deducted. And 1 lakh is gross. Not the entire 1 lakh. Getting my point? Or in the examination, they will twist the language. What they will say? 90,000 salary. How much? And in the bracket, they will write after tax of 10,000. After tax of, what are you going to do? Make it gross. 10,000 plus 90,000, 1 lakh will be taxable. Or they will give you 90,000 salary. In the bracket, they will write off net of TDS 10,000. What are you going to do? 10,000 plus 90,000, full 1 lakh you are going to charge. Understood? This is what? Salary paid after tax. So if the TDS is deducted from your salary, add that TDS in your salary, net salary, make the salary as gross salary and charge the gross salary under the head salary. In that gross salary, you have already shown the TDS deducted as your income. Later on, take the credit of that under the head, later on, take that credit of TDS from your tax liability. Now there is a concept of salary paid tax free. Salary paid. Now what will happen? See, Harshita is supposed to receive 1 lakh, and out of that 1 lakh, the employer was supposed to deduct. Employer said that Harshita, take full 1 lakh rupees. I will not deduct any TDS. I'm giving you salary tax free. That does not mean the government will not charge tax from her salary. Tax free salary, salary paid tax free means what? Salary paid after tax means after deducting TDS, the amount is given. And salary paid tax free means what? Employer was supposed to deduct the TDS and give the balance amount, but employer gave the full amount, saying that whatever tax is there now, which I was supposed to deduct, I'm not going to deduct. Don't worry, I'm going to give you the full salary. That TDS I will pay from my own pocket. Possible or not possible? See, the government has to take the tax. Government is going to take the tax from the employer. Whenever the salary will be given, the government will catch me. That, sir, have you deducted the TDS? You must have deducted the TDS. Pay that TDS to us. Whenever you are going to give the salary, no. Government will always think that the TDS is deducted and salary is given. You are giving tax free. That is your problem, not our problem. Why I would give tax free salary to her? Why I will pay salary tax free to Harshita? Because Harshita is a very valuable employee in my company. He is doing wonderful job. Okay. He is taking extreme care of the work which is allotted to her. She is very diligent in her work. So as an employer, it is my responsibility to keep good employees happy. So as a gesture of, thankfulness, what I am doing? I am telling Harshita, see, I promised that how much salary I am going to give you? 1 lakh. From that salary, I was supposed to deduct TDS and I was supposed to give you how much? 90. Don't worry. I will give you full 1 lakh rupees. Whatever tax which I was supposed to deduct, I will not deduct. I will give you full 1 lakh rupees. That tax I will pay from my own pocket. She will be happy. If I do a small gesture like this, she'll be working with more commitment. Getting my point? I will earn her loyalty. These type of employees I want to retain in my company. So employer will do some or the other things to keep the employees, good employees, happy. So this is one of the things. Getting my point? So what I'm going to do? Will I give full 1 lakh? Will I deduct TDS? Meaning that salary paid tax free. Salary paid tax free. That does not mean that salary is exempt for her. Government is not going to charge tax on that salary. Government wants the tax from that salary. But don't worry, no, I am going to pay that from my pocket. Getting my point? How much I will have to pay? Because the moment I will give 1 lakh rupees to Harshita, no, the government will see, oh, 1 lakh is gone. Means TDS is deducted and 1 lakh is gone. TDS with employer. Now from my pocket, 10% will go. Example, if the 10% was rate. How much was the rate? 10%. So I was supposed to deduct 10%, retain 10,000 and give 90. Hello? But I did not do it. I gave 1 lakh. The moment 1 lakh will be given to her, the government will say tax is deducted and 1 lakh is given. How much tax is deducted? 10%. 10% deducted and 1 lakh is given. That 1 lakh is not gross. That 1 lakh is net. The government will say the amount which you have given to the employee is after tax. Because that salary is taxable. Yes or no? So now what will happen? I will have to pay tax from my pocket. How much tax will I pay? 10,000. No. Government will say whatever you have given is 90%. Because you have already deducted tax and after deducting tax we have told you to give the salary. So whatever salary you have given, government will assume that it is after deducting TDS. That 1 lakh is not gross. That 1 lakh is after deducting. That is net. How much is net? 90. How much is net? 90. 90 is how much? This time 1 lakh is net amount, 90%. Now if 1 lakh is 90%, how much should be 10%, which the employer has? 11,111. Cross multiplication. Hello? If 90% is 1 lakh, how much should be 10%? 11,111. From my pocket, no. Now I will have to pay tax of 11,111. So the government will think, oh, the salary of employee was 1,11,111. Out of that, employer deducted 11,111. Give that 11,111 to us. And 1 lakh salary is released. Getting my point? So tell me, now this time, if the salary is paid tax free, who paid the tax? Isn't it a benefit for you? Any benefit from the employer is your salary. And the amount which you are getting in your hands is your salary. So how much is your salary? 1,11,111. And apply the logic, no? What the government is going to think? That what was the salary of Harshita? 1 lakh. No. 1 lakh is after tax. So the salary will not be 1 lakh. Salary will be 1,11,111. Out of that, the employer would have deducted 11,111 and then 1 lakh would have been given. Getting my point? 11,111 will come from the pocket of employer and 1 lakh will go to employee. So now Harshita will make salary statement for calculation of salary income. How much salary she will show? Always gross. Always. And what is gross here? 1,11,111. In that 11,111 tax which is paid by the employer on her behalf is also shown as her income. Here 10,000 was shown as your income, and here 11,111 will be shown as your income. So in your income already the tax component is already shown as your income. Getting my point? So out of the total 1,11,111, if 11,111 is already paid to the government in the form of tax, later on whenever you will calculate your tax liability from that tax, take the credit of 11,111, just like 10,000. What happened here? You were showing 1 lakh rupees as taxable salary. Hello? In that 1 lakh rupees, 10,000 tax was also shown as your income, no? 10,000 TDS was also shown as your income. So the amount of TDS which you have already shown as your income, later on from your tax liability, take it as a credit. So the same logic you are supposed to apply here. How much this time Harshita will show? 1,11,111. This time she is going to show this much amount. So can I say in this amount, 11,000 is already shown as her income. Later on, whenever she'll calculate the tax liability, out of that tax liability, is she going to pay this 11,000 tax again? No. See, no, you have already got the tax 11,000, which I have already shown as my income. Give me the credit of that 11,000. Getting my point? So later on, this 11,111, which is paid by the employer but shown as income by her, will be allowed as credit. So whenever she'll calculate the tax liability, from her tax liability, she is going to get the credit of this 11,111. This is salary paid, tax free. Okay. So now I'm making small example for you. You are going to give me the answer. Okay, no? Ready? Ready? Okay. Your gross salary was 4,50,000. How much was your gross salary? 4,50,000. Now, from your gross salary, your employer was supposed to deduct TDS. So the amount of TDS, rate of TDS, everything we are going to learn in the TDS chapter. Just for the sake of simplicity right now, I am telling you a rate. This is not the rate of TDS on salary. Actual rate, actual amount we are going to learn in TDS chapter. But right now, just for the sake of calculation, I am saying that the TDS was supposed to be deducted at 10%. So 10% TDS will be deducted. How much? 45,000. So balance is, this is, okay. Now actually this happened, meaning the salary paid to the employee was after the tax deduction. Can I say this is salary paid after tax? Salary paid. In this case, employee under the head salary, how much salary he will show taxable? 4,50,000. Full amount he is going to show. Yes or no? And when he will calculate the tax liability, can I say TDS amount? It was, how much was the TDS amount? 45,000 will be allowed as tax credit from tax liability. So whenever the employee will calculate the tax liability, from the tax liability, how much tax credit will be given? 45,000. And this 45 he has already shown as his income in 4,50,000. Getting my point? So this is salary paid after tax. This is salary paid after tax. Okay, these details will be given in the question. They will deliberately put these information in the question to confuse you. Don't get confused. Okay, next one. Salary was 4,50,000. No. Now what if the employer says that I will not deduct TDS of 45,000, I will give you full 4,50,000, and employer says that whatever TDS which I was supposed to deduct, I will not deduct, And on that 4,50,000 of salary, whatever tax is coming, I will pay from my own pocket. Then 4,50,000 will be gross or it will be net? Then it will be treated as net. So 4,50,000 I will write here now. If this is 90%, if this is, how much should be? 10%. How much? Then how much should be 100? So under the head salary, under the head, how much income the employee will show? 5 lakh. And in this 5 lakh, 50,000 is already shown as income, which was paid from employer's pocket. Later on, take the credit of that 50,000. So how much tax credit you are going to get? 50,000 from your final tax liability. This 50,000, take it as a credit later on. But first you will have to show it as your income. Got it, sir? Should I move ahead? Perfect. Now see, you will have to calculate your salary. How will you calculate your salary income? Come on. How are you going to calculate your salary income? You will have to prepare a statement. But first of all, think. Will you calculate your total income? Will you calculate your total income in the previous year, or you will calculate your total income in the assessment year? Definitely assessment year. Hello, sir. So first, the previous year will be over. First your previous year will be, which is your previous year? And in the assessment year 26, 27, in this assessment year you are going to calculate total income of previous year 25, 26. So in this total income, you are supposed to include salary income. Hello. So first you will have to calculate the salary head. Then you will have to calculate the house property head. Then you will have to calculate the PGBP, then capital gain, then other sources. So 5 heads of income which are required to calculate your total income. 5 heads of income which are required to calculate your total income. Those 5 heads will also be calculated in the assessment year, no? Hello? So in the assessment year, if you are calculating your total income, in that total income, 5 heads are required. So those 5 heads will be calculated in the assessment year. So in the assessment year, how will you calculate your house property income? How will you calculate your house property income? That we have already learned. Last chapter, hello? In the assessment year, how will you calculate your salary income? The income which will be taxable under the head salary. Taxable income of salary head. Taxable income of salary head, which is to be taken to calculate your total income. So this salary head income which you are supposed to take in the computation of your total income, how will you calculate that salary head income? That you are going to learn now. In this salary head, what will come? In the assessment year, when you will calculate the income under the head salary, you will have to calculate the income under the head salary if during the previous year you were getting salary from your employer. So all the salary during the previous year which you are getting from your employer, you will have to make a salary head, and in that salary head you are supposed to show that salary income. But salary income will be earned in previous year. In which year you will be earning the salary income? Previous year. From that salary which you are earning in the previous year, you are going to calculate the salary head in the assessment year. So now in the assessment year, when you will make a statement, when you will make the statement, in that statement your salary head will be calculated. Yes or no? So statement showing taxable income under the head salary. Now in this statement, no, what are you supposed to do? During the previous year, whatever salary became due from your employer, take that amount in the statement. During the previous year, whatever salary was received from your employer, even if it was not due, okay, no, but it was received in the previous year, so take that amount in your salary statement. Anything and everything given by your employer during the previous year, yes or no, will be taken as your salary by whatever name called, whether in cash or in kind. And also those items which are covered in 17.1. During the previous year, if these items are received, simple, make a format like this. So during the previous year, you might have got some basic. During the previous year, you might have got some arrears, then advance salary, then bonus, then fees or commission, then allowances, perquisites, retirement benefits, any other sums from the employer, including these sums will become due in the previous year or received in the yes, due or received, whichever is earlier happening in the previous year. Take these sums in this statement. Now what are you going to do? Add all these amounts. You will get a total. That total will be this is the gross amount of salary which you are receiving from your employer during the previous year. Now from this gross amount of salary, we are going to give you three deductions. 16 clause 1A, standard deduction. 16 clause 2, deduction for entertainment allowance. 16 clause 3, deduction for professional tax. These three deductions you take, whatever amount remains out of your gross salary will be treated as your net taxable salary. This is the taxable income of this head. So when you will calculate your total income, in the calculation of your total income, 5 heads are required. Salary head total will be this. Net taxable salary is the total of salary head. Bring this amount in the calculation of total income. And house property calculation you already know. How will you calculate house property? That you have already learned in the last chapter. Yes or no? So this way you are supposed to calculate. Now what are you supposed to do? One by one we are going to discuss about these items. What is basic salary? Everything which is written in the statement is taxable only. Taxable amount of basic salary you are supposed to write. But at the time of doing the taxability, you need to keep something in mind. So one by one we are going to discuss these items. Hello? One by one we are going to discuss these items. And what discussion we'll make? That what important things we are supposed to keep in mind before charging this income under the head salary. So if you are charging these amounts under the head salary, few important things you will have to keep in mind. Keep in mind these things and charge salary. Keep in mind these things, these important things you should keep in mind, and then only charge your bonus. Getting my point? Now, few incomes which your employer will give, will be exempt only. Will you bring those exempt items in this statement? This statement will always have taxable items given by the employer. Now see, employer is giving you some allowance. Employer is giving you multiple allowances are there. Different types of allowances are there. Okay. Out of all the allowances, few allowances are exempt. So the allowances which are exempt, don't bring those allowances here. Here which allowances will come? Only the taxable allowances. So will you remember taxable allowance or exempt allowance? You'll have to remember exempt allowance. Then by default, whatever remains will be your taxable allowance. Bring here. Now, few allowances are, some part of that allowance is exempt, some part is not exempt. Take that allowance here, but the part which is exempt, remove it. So the balance which will remain will be taxable, will be shown here. Some perquisites you are going to get. Some perquisites value you will calculate and that will be taxable. But some perquisites are exempt only. No need to calculate the value, no need to show it here. Getting my point? So one by one, we'll keep on discussing these items. You will know that what I'm going to tell you. Okay. So first item, see whether you get anything or not. Definitely you are going to get basic salary. What is this basic? This is the minimum amount of salary which your employer will give you for the work which you are going to do for the employer. So the services which you are going to perform as an employee for your employer, for those services, your employer has promised a minimum amount of 20,000. That come what may, this 20,000 definitely you are going to get from the employer. Now this 20,000 will be fixed on the basis of your experience, on the basis of your qualification, on the basis of what type of work you are going to do. This 20,000 will be fixed by the employer. And if you agree with this 20,000, come and join the company, come and join the employer. Now it is not necessary that this 20,000 which the employer is giving you, other employer will also give you this amount. This will depend on how we are doing the negotiations. So if you are coming and working for me, I'm going to give you how much? Minimum 20,000. Based on your qualification, based on your experience, and based on the work which you are going to do for me, I'm going to give you 20 minimum. This is what I give you as a basic. If you agree, take it and start working. But if you'll go to some other employer might not give you 20. He would feel that based on this qualification, based on this experience, based on the work which you are going to do for him, he might offer you 15. I can offer you 20. Or some other employer will be there, he might offer you 35,000 also. Purely depends on employer to employer. This is not a fixed amount which can be given to all the employees. Right? Different employees will get different basic from me. Even if the employer is same. But can he give different basic? Yes. Different basic salary can be given to different types of employees. Why? Because everyone will not be doing the same work. Everyone will not have same qualification or experience. Somebody will have less qualification, less experience. He is getting a minimum salary of 12,000 from me. You are getting 20,000. Somebody might be getting 40,000. Depends on employee to employee. But wait. Same employee can get different basic. Yes, from different employer. Now you have to decide with which employer you want to work. This employer is going to give you minimum this much amount. That employer is going to give you minimum this much amount. So you have to decide that with which employer you would like to work. But if you work for me, if you are my employee and I am your employer, I feel that for the work which you are doing, experience, qualification, based on this, minimum 20,000 should be given. Basic. Getting my point? This entire discussion which I did, no, they will not ask you in the exam. But this is required to understand. Only then the understanding will develop. What you are supposed to remember, any basic received by from the fully taxable. That's it. This is the first amount which any employer will offer to the employee. After this, many amounts will be offered, but this is the first amount. This is the minimum amount which any employer will offer you. Yes or no? Maybe different from for different employees. For the same employee, it can be different for different employees, and for the same employee, it can be different in the case of different employers. But if you are working for a particular employer, that particular employer is giving you a minimum amount, that minimum amount of salary based on your experience, based on your qualification, based on your work done, is nothing but basic salary. Whenever you get basic salary from your employer, that is fully taxable, due or receipt, whichever is earlier basis. Due or whichever is. Getting my point? So now, basic salary is taxable. But wait, your gross basic was 50,000. Gross basic was, I gave you only 40,000. We decided that I'm going to give you a basic salary of 50. But when the month ends, I'm giving you take home 40. 10,000 I am deducting. And I'm giving you 40. Why, sir? Why are you giving me only 40? You promised that you are going to give 50. Then why are you giving 40? This is bad, sir. You're not keeping your promise. Giving you 50 only. But out of that 50, I was supposed to deduct some TDS. I deducted that. Out of your 50, I was supposed to deduct your PF contribution. I deducted that PF contribution. Out of your 50, I was supposed to deduct some life insurance premium. Hello, I deducted that. Out of your 50, I was supposed to adjust your loan which you have taken from me. Loan installment I have deducted. There are many payments. Out of your 50, your professional tax has to be paid to the state government. I deducted that professional tax. There are many things which you will have to spend out of your salary. So those things, if you get salary from me and then you spend, it is better I would deduct, hello, and spend on your behalf. Because if I'll give you full salary, you're not going to do these kind of expenses. Bloody, you have to contribute in your provident fund. If I'll give you full salary, you are not going to contribute. I will deduct and contribute. This is not going from my pocket, hello. From your salary only, some amount is deducted. So this is your income which is getting deducted and going for PF. This is your income which is getting deducted and going for tax payment as TDS. This is your income which is getting deducted and going for payment of professional tax, payment of life insurance premium. Different types of payments has to be made. To do those payments, you have to do those payments from your salary. You will not do it. So I am deducting and I am doing those payments. 10,000 rupees I have deducted. Take this 40. Tell me, gross was 10,000 rupees deducted by the employer from your salary. How much you received? Net 40. Under the head salary, when you will prepare the statement, basic salary you have to show. How much basic salary you will show here? Will you show 40 or you will show 50? Why? Application of income is also income. From your 50, 10 is deducted and applied for different purpose, no? The 10 which was deducted and applied for different purpose is also your income, and the 40 which you are receiving is also your income. So how much is your income? Show us the 50,000 income first. So under the head salary, the income tax department, the income tax act is telling you to show your full income first. And out of that income, if some amount is deducted, means applied for that application, later on if there is deduction, that you later on take, no? But first you show your full income. So how much was your full basic? So how much will you show here? 50,000. Basic salary always taxable. Basic salary always taxable. But what amount will be taxable? Net amount or gross amount? So in the question, if they are telling you that employer has given you 40,000 net, 100% it will be given what amounts are deducted. What will you do? Add all those amounts in the net. You will get gross. That gross amount you are supposed to charge here. Hello, sir. Will you remember? What if gross is given? Take the gross amount and charge it. If gross amount is given and they are saying from this gross amount, this will be deducted by the employer, this will be deducted by the employer, this will be deducted by the employer. You deducted all the amount. You reached that net. Then you realized, oh my God, this is net. From gross, employer is deducting this, deducting this, deducting this. This is net. I don't have to tax the net amount. I have to take the gross amount. So again, I will have to add all these things. Hello? Ready? Again adding and reaching at gross. and showing that gross taxable. If that gross is directly given in the question, directly charge it. No. Getting my point? Now pay attention. Now sometimes no, the salary they will give you straight away, like 50,000 per month, or they will tell you 10,000 rupees per month, or they will tell you 25,000 per month. That per month amount of basic salary will be directly given in the question. So during this previous year, you are receiving a basic salary of 50,000 per month. So directly the basic salary amount is given for this year. Sometimes no, they are not going to give you the basic salary amount for this year directly. You will have to derive the basic salary which you will be getting in this year. Now see, there is a concept of grading system. Which system? Grading system means in big organizations where hundreds and thousands and lakhs of employees are there. Indian Railways, lakhs of employees are there. SBI, thousands of employees are there. Reliance, thousands of employees are there. Yes or no? So in big organizations, big employers will have thousands of employees. Now, these employees are divided into different grades. Different. So, in some organization, there is a grading system that the organization, that company is grading the employees in 4 grades. Grade A, B, C and D. See, this grading code can be any code which the employer will decide. Okay, no? Someone will have level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4. Someone will have P1, P2, P3, P4. So these grades are decided by the employer. So in our organization, we want to keep a grading system like A, B, C, D. We'll have 4 grades of employees. 4 grades of employees. Grade A, B, C and D. Now in every grade, all my employees will be classified in these 4 grades. All my employees will be classified in these 4 grades. Few employees will fall in grade B, few will fall in A, few will fall in C, few will fall in D. Now, I will decide that, see, if workers are there, supervisors are there, they will be placed in grade D. For them, this much will be the salary scale. This much will be the salary scale, and these will be the benefits which the employer will provide. So their salary will be in a particular scale. Their salary will be in a particular scale and they will get these benefits. Now, any employee who is above the supervisor level till manager, they will be placed in grade C. Their salary scale will be different, and in grade C, the benefits offered will be different. Little bit more salary, little bit more benefits, because they are, the employees above the workers and supervisors till managers. Now, if head of the department, HODs are there, senior managers are there, they will be placed in grade B. They will be placed in grade B. Their salary scale will be different, and the benefits which they are going to get will be different. So here the salary range will be different. Here the salary range will be different. Here the salary range will be different. And here the range of salary will be different. Scale means what? Range of your salary. Range of your salary will range from minimum this amount to maximum this amount in this grade. So if you are placed in this grade, your minimum salary will be this much per month and maximum salary will be this much per month. This is the range in which you will be paid monthly salary in this grade. That range will increase if you are, if you are working for n number of years in the organization. So you'll keep on working, your salary will keep on increasing, but your salary will be in this range only. Once you enter in a minimum and you reach at maximum in this range, your promotion will due and you will go to the upper grade. You will be promoted to upper grade. Getting my point? Now, in this grade, the range will be different. So range of salary, meaning salary scale will be different for different grades. And also the benefits offered in each grade will be different. See, these employees will get food, transportation, hello, and children education benefit. These employees will get food also, transportation also, children education also, petrol expenses also, yes or no? Few benefits more compared to this. These employees will get food also, they will get house also, they will get car also, meaning the benefits will be defined. Now, why this grading is happening, if some employees are there, thousands of employees are there, so the designations will not be 1,000, there will be managers. So if in my organization thousands of employees are there, out of thousands of employees, few employees are at the same level, manager level. He is also manager, she is also manager, she is also manager, but she is purchase manager, she is accounts manager, she is sales department manager, but the level is same, no? Manager, hello? Getting my point? So the manager in the same organization, you are at the same designation level. Just imagine, your salary is different, your salary is different, your salary is different. The benefits which you are getting, different. Now you will tell the employer that you are being biased. See, I am getting very less salary and less benefit. And even if that other employee, he is also the manager, I am also a manager, he is also a manager, see how much salary he is getting. You are giving him more salary, you are giving him more benefits as compared to me. So to justify that why he is getting more benefits, why he is getting more salary, all the managers which are placed in one grade, they will have a salary in a range. Yes or no? See, your salary and his salary is within this range. I'm not doing any pious. Range is same. See, no, 25,000 to 40. Within this range, you are also getting, and within this range, he is also getting. And see, benefits. 4 benefits we are offering in this grade. What benefit? Number 1, we are going to give you house, we are going to give you motor car, we are going to give you servants, and we are going to give you children education facility. 4 benefits we are offering. You are getting 3 out of these 4 only, no? And he is getting all the 4. He is not getting anything other than these 4. Yes or no? You are getting 3 out of these only. Your salary is less, but within this range. His salary is more, but within this range. Why he is getting more benefits? Why he is getting more salary in this range? Because bloody you have just completed 2 years in the company and he has completed 7 years in the company. So the employee will be more experienced. He will start getting more salary from us. Yes or no? Even though he is at manager level. But at manager level, you have just completed 2 years. He has completed 7 years. Hence, you are getting only 22,000 salary and he is getting 30,000 salary. You are getting 3 benefits out of 4. He is getting all the 4 benefits. So this way, no, the employer can justify. And the employees will also feel, okay, if I will also complete 7 years, that time I will reach at that level. Employee will not feel that the employer is getting biased. He's giving more benefits to few employees and less benefit to few employees. So this is the beauty of this grading system. Now, whatever information I gave you, that was just a general knowledge. General knowledge. This is not going to be asked in the exam. What will be asked in the exam? See, I am telling you. See, if any employee, Mr. A, Mr. A is an employee, okay, no? Mr. A is joining. Mr. A is joining X Limited in a grade where in a grade having salary scale 20,000 dash 2,000 dash 30,000 dash 5,000 dash 50,000. So you are joining a grade and that grade has a salary scale. This is the salary scale given. This is a double salary scale. Double. Double means twice you will get the increment. Sorry, you will get the increment. Okay. So once you join, at the time of joining in this grade, your minimum salary will be 20,000 per month. And the maximum salary till the time you will remain in this grade, the maximum salary will be 50,000 per month. So for example, you are joining as a fresher in this grade, minimum salary the employer will offer 20,000. So this will be the basic salary, minimum 20,000. Now from the date of joining, you will complete 1 year of service. So whenever you join, from that day, you will complete 1 year in the company. 1 year of your service will be completed. For the first year, you are going to get monthly salary of 20,000. Monthly salary of. And after finishing first year of service, you will start giving second year of service. You will start giving second year of service. In your second year of service, no, we are going to give you 2,000 rupees increment in your monthly salary. Now in the second year of service, your monthly salary will not be 20. Increment of 2,000 will make it 22,000. So in the second year of service, you are going to get monthly salary of 22,000. Second year of service will be over. You will start giving service for the third year. So in the third year of your service, again 2,000 rupees will be an increment. So now your salary will be 24. Fourth year of service, 26. Fifth year of service, 28. Sixth year of service, 30. Now the year in which you are earning 30. Hello? After that, next year service, yes or no? You will not get an increment of 2,000. You are going to get an increment of 5,000. In the next year, your salary will not become 32, rather it will become 35. This is double scale. Yes or no? Sometimes the scale can be this much also. 20,000, 2,000, 30. This is a single scale. Hello? And this is a double scale. Understanding? Now, see, 5,000. So, after 30, it will become 35. After 35, in the next year, it will become 40. The next year, it will become, and in the next year, it will become the year in which you are going to earn 50,000 salary in this grade. That is the last year in this grade. In the next year, you will be due for promotion and you will be promoted to the higher grade. So first stay for these many years in this grade. Getting my point? So now tell me, if they are saying that grade is, did you understand what is the meaning of this scale? Now in this they are saying that joining, Mr. A joining X Limited. Okay, no? So date of joining was 1st of June 2022. On this date, he joined the company in this scale. Now, at the time of joining, what monthly salary is fixed? Not given. At the time of joining, what monthly salary is fixed? Not given. So we will say that he has joined as a fresher without any experience and all, and he will be joining at lowest amount, meaning 20,000. So first year his salary will be 20. So we'll start from 20. Getting my point? But in few cases they will tell you, in few examples they will tell you that at the time of joining his salary was fixed at 28,000. So he joined, but not as a fresher. He was already an experienced person whom we are taking in our company. His experience, his qualification, and the work which he will do based on that. He should not be offered minimum because he is not joining as a fresher. He is joining as an experienced person. At the time of joining, his salary fixed was 28,000. Even that can be given. Yes or no? If nothing is mentioned, then join at 20. Getting my point? So now tell me, what will be the first year of service? The year of service will start from, the employee will start working from 1st June 2022. First year of service will be over on 31st May 2023. This will be the first year of his service. This will be the, in this first year, he will receive how much? Now his second year of service will start from 1st June 23, end on 31st March 24. Then 1st June 24, end on 31st May 25. Then 1st June 25, end on 31st May 26. This is the second year of service, third year of service, and fourth year. Every year he'll get 2,000 rupees increment. Yes or no? So next year his salary will be then 20. Don't go beyond this. Why? You'll have to calculate the basic salary for your previous year. If he had joined on this date, hello. So what will be the basic salary for your previous year? What is your previous year? Can I say your 25-26 will come here? 1st April 2025 to 31st March 2026. Can I say this is the previous year? Now tell me, in your previous year, when April month was going on, your previous year will start from 1st April. Hello? So in the April month, how much was your salary? Because from June to May, June 24 to May 25, your salary is. So when your previous year started, in your previous year, in the month of April, your salary was 24. In the month of May, your salary was. And on 1st June, during the previous year, you got an increment because fourth year of service was started. And you got your increment. And your salary became. So from 1st June of your previous year, your salary was increased to 26. And it remains same till. Now tell me, 24,000 salary for how many months? 2 months. April and May. Hello, sir. And 26,000 salary from June to March. How many months? 10 months. So this will give you 2,60,000. Hello. And this will give you 48. 48 plus 2,60,000 will give you 3,08,000. This is your basic salary for this year. Will you be able to calculate it like this? What if they would have told you that at the time of joining, your monthly salary fixed is 28,000. At the time of joining, they fixed your salary at 28. So first year, you are going to work at how much salary? 28, no. So revise this entire calculation. Don't start from 20, rather start from 28. So this will be 28,000. This will be 30,000. After 30, don't make 32 because after 30 you are going to get an increment of 5,000. Okay. So tell me, this will be, and after that 40,000 for how many months? It will be 4 lakhs. And 35,000 for how many months? 2 months. This will be, now your basic salary will be 4,75,000. Got it, sir? Hello? 70, sorry. This was 70, no? 70. So it will be 4,70,000. Done, sir. Now tell me one thing. If the question tells you that Mr. X is an employee of ABC Limited, he joined this company on this date, in this grade, salary scale was this. Hello? Now they want you to determine the basic salary, monthly amounts directly they are not giving. Now you'll have to determine the monthly amounts of basic salary which you are going to receive for your previous year. And that you have to determine like this. Okay, but wait. Everywhere now you have calculated assuming that the salary becomes due on the last day. April month salary becomes due on 30th April. May month salary becomes due on 31st May. June month 30th June. So every month salary becoming due on the last day of that month. Yes or no? So tell me, April to March, whatever salary which will become due in this year only, no? April salary become due in this year. May salary become due in this year. So the salary becomes due on last day of each month. Last day of, and if it is received on the 5th of the next month. So April month salary will become due on 30th April, received on 5th May. But April month salary will be taxable on due or receipt, whichever is. It becomes due even before it is received. May month salary will become due on 31st May. Hello? Received on 5th June. So due or received, whichever is earlier. So May month salary will also be taxable on due basis. Because every month salary will become due first and then it will be received. So due or received, whichever is earlier. So every month salary has to be taxable on due basis. And every month salary becomes due in this year only. Why? Because every month salary becomes due on the last day of each month. If the salary has to be taxed on due basis, why? Because due becomes earlier than receipt. So I have to charge the salary on what basis? Due basis. Charge the salary on what basis? And if I have to charge the salary on due basis, April month salary become due in this year, 30th April. May month salary becomes due in this year, 31st May. June month salary becomes due in this year, 30th June. Likewise, till March. March month salary will also become due on 31st March, meaning this year. So every month salary becoming due in this year, hence it is taxable in this year. We have assumed that. If question is silent, we have to assume that only. But sometimes they will play with you. They will tell you, in this case, which we are having right now, the salary of each month becomes due on the 1st of next month. Salary of each month becomes due on 1st of next month, received on 5th of next month. When it will become due? 1st. When it will be received? 5th. So April month salary becoming due on 1st May, received on 5th May. Hello? Whichever is. So that will be taxable on due basis. And when it is becoming due? 1st May. This year only, no? Taxable in this year. So tell me, May month salary due on 1st June, received on 5th June, whichever is earlier. Due. So May month salary will also be taxable on due basis. And when it is becoming due? This year, 1st June, taxable in this year. June month salary will also be taxable on due basis. July month salary, due basis. Every month salary will be taxable on due basis. Why? Because it is becoming due before it is received. So it will be taxable on what basis? Due basis. Now you will have to check. Every month salary becoming due in this year, be taxable in this year. The month whose salary does not become due in this year will not be taxable in April month salary becoming due in this year, 1st May. May month salary becoming due in this year, 1st June. June month salary becoming due in this year, 1st July. Till February. Till February month salary will become due in 1st March, meaning this year. So taxable in. So April to February, there will be no problem. Now tell me, what about the March salary? Can you see March month salary here? Can you see March month salary was 40,000? So this year March, 40,000 salary becomes due on 1st April. This year or next year? So should it be taxable on due basis in this year or next year? So this will not be 10. This will not be 10. This will be 9. And this will be 3,60,000. Getting my point? This year March salary was 40. But that is becoming due in the next year, 1st April. So on due basis, if the salary is getting taxed, so due is not happening in this year. Due is happening in next year. So this year's March will be taxable in next year. Likewise, last year March will become due on 1st April this year, no? So last year March, how much was your salary? From June to May, your salary was 35,000. So can I say April and prior to that, March was also there. So March month salary was also 35,000. So last March salary was 35,000 and that is also becoming due in this year. So that 35,000 will be taxable in this year. Getting my point? So here instead of 2, it will be now 3. 35,000 salary from March to May. March to May will be how much? 1,05,000. It becomes due in this year, so it is taxable in. And 40,000 salary from June to February only, because this year March 40,000 will become due in the next year. So for these 8 months, the salary June to Feb will become due in this year, so it will be taxable in this year. 3,60,000 plus 1,05,000, 4 lakh. If you calculate 470, your answer will be wrong. Here your answer should be 4,60,000. If basic salary will calculate like this correctly, then the remaining amounts given in the question will be correct. Because now they will tell you dearness allowance 20% of basic. Basic was wrong, so definitely DA will be wrong. Bonus you are going to get. Every year's March salary you are going to get as bonus. So this year also you are going to get bonus, but that bonus will be equivalent to March month salary. March month salary was how much? No. This year March. This year March equivalent to that. Salary equivalent to March month salary of this year will be given as a bonus. So bonus you are not going to get 35,000 because 35,000 was for earlier March. This year March is how much salary? 40. Equivalent to that amount, the bonus will be given. But for that, you will have to calculate these amounts correctly. And the remaining calculations which you are going to do, in those calculations also, friends, you will require the amount of basic, you will require the amount of DA. If basic is wrong, DA is wrong. Basic is wrong, definitely DA will be wrong. And if basic DA is wrong, rest all the calculations will be wrong. Because in every calculation, you will require basic and DA. Understanding? Will you be able to calculate like this? You have to remember, huh? Okay. So, we'll see you tomorrow. And tomorrow, we'll start from here. And tomorrow's lecture, don't miss, huh? Tomorrow, important discussion is going to happen about allowances and all. Okay. See you all tomorrow. Bye. 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 Bye.